We're 100 days from the election now, less than. I have a hard time believing the Wayfair thing based on the Russia. Mostly anything dealing with Russia, I have a hard time to believe.
You fill 1,700 pages, and maybe you'll want to write more of them. I mean, everything we're talking about, you could have a page and a half.
And maybe they'd read more of them too.
Yeah.
Because the long form discussion is taking over these news segments, are taking over these spoon-fed, prepackaged media sound bites that we get every day.
Media. Yep.
Do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan. This is episode 74 of the weekly show, all of the week's hottest topics with a twist. Please excuse Ryan's face. He is just realizing that given the Christmas weekend that is coming up, this is going to be our last episode of the year. The next episode will premiere Monday the 3rd, 2022. COVID season 3.
COVID season 3.
And still to this day, when I was looking up headlines, NPR specifically is more COVID crazy than anybody. Everything on their homepage is COVID news. But that's because we have the new variant, I'm sure, and no other reason.
I'm going to say something before we get going here. I'm sure you have it somewhere in your thing. I always love that I am unstructured and then Dave has some kind of, fundamentals, like beginning framework of like a show prep, and then I just demolish it sometimes.
I think it makes it fun, though, because I do have it structured, and then I have to find a way to structure it into your unstructured. It's like trying to build a house into something that doesn't have a foundation. It's a very...
Yeah, you're like trying to build a foundation as I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I got the attic done. It's like, wait, well, hold on. I didn't do we didn't pour the cement yet. Yeah, we could just pick this up later.
You got people holding house beams up overnight.
Ryan's got the wires run. We don't even have...
I didn't finish it. I didn't get very far, but I did start. I don't want to butcher the gentleman's name because it's just such an... From the very short time, I probably got like maybe 20 minutes into it. It's a Joe Rogan episode with Dr. Peter A. McCullough. I'm sorry. McCullough? Whatever.
I'm guessing this isn't the super hot one you talk about.
No, it's not the hot doctor. That's why I don't remember his name either. This guy is like the most published doctor in like history. Like the most scientifically authenticated, published by all the trust the science that you can trust. Okay. And this guy said, I almost got upset listening to it. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What did he say though?
He basically said that it could have all been prevented because for whatever reason they tried stopping hydroxychloroquine from being administered and everything else to the public, and it was already in use. It didn't need FDA. It's very dense. Like I said, it's 3 hours. I only made it through a half hour of it, but I've seen various clips throughout the week. He references how forcing someone into a vaccination is against the Nuremberg Code.
You've brought up the Nuremberg Code multiple times on the show. I feel like you take that code a little too literally.
You know what's crazy is when I went to a rally downtown, down in Orchard Park, rather, for the Cole Beasley rally. I talked about it here on our program. One guy got up there and talked specifically about how it violates all the tenets of the Nuremberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was probably just some kooky, crazy guy that was just listening to kooky, crazy people that didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And now here we go, 6 months later, predicting the future again.
Oh, just because one super published doctor backs up your claims.
With 700 papers and no one else is even close.
How many Nobel Peace Prize doctors have backed up your...
I can't believe they still use. I seen another one the other day. It was like scientists agree. It's like, well, how many scientists are you asking? Now I have that optic for everything. Like, how many did you ask, and how many is there?
Well, they did that exact thing with climate change, though. They asked a specific group of doctors, and they said, well, 98% of scientists agree, or whatever it is, and it's like, well, 98% of the group you asked, but what about every scientist?
I'm actually glad you said that, because the guy basically, and this is why I got a little upset when I was listening to this very brilliant doctor talk. I'm not better than these people. I listen to way smarter people than me too. But I'm going to tell you, these people think it's just by accident. It's not. It's not. I can assure you, it's not. I don't know how, but I know. It's not by accident. We get on here every week and like make a mockery of these people with their own talking points. At least bare minimum, the news does it on purpose, let alone fucking doctors and scientists and all these other educators. But he was basically blaming it on the ego and incompetence of academia in particular. He was basically saying that the scientists thought that they trusted science, I guess.
So in his opinion, it wasn't because they wanted to control society, lock everything down, and force you to do things.
But the very thing they're forcing on me violates the Nuremberg Code violations. Oh, no, this is just incompetence. It's just incompetence that led us to the very road of the very things that 100 years ago we were like, this is when they actually asked all of the scientists. They actually were like, we actually all agree on these things. And there's 10 Nuremberg tenets. I wonder why, David. What else is there 10 of in the world that are super important? Oh, the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the freaking 10 Commandments in the Bible. It's weird how all these things just perfectly line up and button up with other areas of our life. It's just coincidence. It's just incompetence. We shut down oil pipelines, and then gas is $5 billion more expensive, causing everything to go up.
Well,
we have unemployment, encouragement, and we wonder why, oh my God, we have shortages everywhere. Healthcare has had shortages all of the time. It's never been an issue. Waiting at a hospital, dying with a gunshot wound in the middle of a busy city has never been an issue before. But when we put a bell on a fucking hospital and ring it every time somebody's cured of COVID and give mass PTSD to society, this is not by incompetence. This is not by accident. These people know literally, maybe to the letter, of exactly what they are doing. And I'm going to go even one step further, because I may be assassinated like Joe Rogan's gonna, because they will assassinate him. Okay? When I was listening to this interview, Joe Rogan was basically defending Donald Trump, and he was also sounding more and more like an interviewer every single sentence, because he knew the gravity of having this guy in the room. And it's probably why the conversation was so detailed, dense, and long. It's beautiful. I will listen to the rest of it. I encourage everybody to at least catch clips, because it is startling. There's people on TikTok that have already chopped it up. It's a minute at a time. Go watch it. Show your boss. Show your girlfriend. Show your friend. Show your mother. Show all the people scared. Go in public without masks. They're going to censor us and shut us down anyways. I have been blackmailed from Facebook for calling somebody a whore. And I'm sure I'm just going to get banned more and more. You know, like this this isn't surprising. It was immediate, which is what I thought was hilarious. I assumed I was going to get some backlash, but I really thought it'd be like your comment was removed. And no, they literally, as I commented whore, literally when Facebook refreshed, and then it was like, you are banned for 7 days. It's like, holy fuck. 7 days, that means I violated community standards before, because most times it's like a 24-hour ban, or you get a warning. And I've also heard things that they just stop telling you that they're banning you. So I guess, these people are a platform, but Mark Zuckerberg is literally crafting whole universes, but it's just a publisher. It's just no, we get to pick what we're publishing. We are literally creating alternate realities. I cannot wait for virtual boxing so I could beat up Hillary Clinton and Mark Zuckerberg.
That's promoting violence.
Digital violence.
Obviously, that's satire. I was thinking about, honestly, when you're talking about all this, I was thinking about, you remember two specific things, I guess. Trump talking about the it being a lab leak, and Trump oh man, I don't really remember what the other thing was. But I remember thinking at the time,
Russian Gate scandal.
Well, no. Specifically towards COVID things.
Oh, hydroxychloroquine being
that was
it's
the other
a miracle. It basically kills it. It's like magic.
Like, well, Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. He's an idiot. As if he wasn't getting inside intelligence from people. Like,
dude, this doctor
there's a
on
reason
Rogan,
he knew these things. Other people knew this.
The doctor on Rogan said people in Africa said one of two. There's only 2 factories in all of the world that make hydroxychloroquine, and one of them was mysteriously lit on fire. Oh, just incompetence, just kind of mass incompetence causing fires, doctor. This guy's written 700 papers that got 5 gold stars, and he's telling me, come on. I know why he does it. He's got credit. I understand. But like I told somebody this week, I ran into a low voltage guy, which is basically like security systems at the job site I've been working at. And not only is he batshit crazy, but he likes politics because he was listening to Tim Pool. And I started talking like I always do. And I told him the same thing. Like, you can't be in the middle. You know, we're beyond like just letting this happen. You know, like these, you have to pick. These people are doing things that directly violate the very tenets of humanity. Once again, Nuremberg Code violations. This is not me saying this, YouTube. This is a doctor who has far better prestigious than me, is saying it violates Nuremberg Code violations. So tell me why the President of the United States, my job, you know, Wegmans, and all these other places are being so authoritarian. It's not incompetence. It's
well, I'm sure it's not related to this at all. Headlines. This is phrased as a question. Must employers follow Biden's vaccine mandates? So it turns out, if you read the whole article, no, they must not. You do not have to follow the vaccine mandates, but the reason they say is because it's being battled out in the courts. The real reason, I suspect, is because it didn't go through Congress. It's not a law.
There's 0 laws. There's 0 mask laws as well. Even the mandates. John here at December 1773 did some investigative journalism. David, do you know where he went for it?
CNN.
The official government website, NewYorkState.gov. This isn't This isn't Conspiracy Net. This isn't fucking Hook Me Up to AJ. This is the government thing. He looked in all the things passed through all the years. There is no law. There's not even executive action drawn up. It's literally just a napkin that I have to wear a mask in public.
Yeah. It's a recommendation, but they phrase it as a mandate.
It's just incompetence.
Yeah, that's probably all it is.
It's so incompetent. Nancy Pelosi this week comes out and says that we're a free open market system when they basically insider trade and they get very well enriched. And she's like, no, we're an open system. We're an open free market system, when she was questioned about whether or not they should change it and be allowed to do it. Congress has been able to insider trade for decades. It's been known. You can look up the mainstream news articles yourself that talk about it. But she referenced it. She's a millionaire, always talks about taxing the rich and all this crap. She's literally in on the system. And it proves that she knows what free market economy is. So she literally, all these bills she signs that kill business, that keep things castrated, that destroy the economy, rise of inflation, massive spending that devalues the dollar and lower. She knows exactly what she's doing. It's not incompetence.
Well, this is free market economy right here. And this is, you can just add this name to the many names that have done this, including somebody you had mentioned already at the beginning of the episode. Headlines. Gordon Ramsay moves his business headquarters to Texas from California. CEO cites tax policies and cost of living. That's weird.
David, Chef Ramsay is a celebrity chef. And if you don't know this...
That's right. And he's great.
He's the richest celebrity chef. He's like one of 3. Wolfgang, I forget his last name. Wolfgang, whatever, he's big renown. Chef Ramsay, Guy Fieri, and Emeril Lagasse. And then you got like Bobby Flay and all these other big celebrity chefs. Who is picking up that tax base, David?
What are you talking about?
When he leaves, what happens to all his revenue the state collects?
Oh, it goes to Texas.
So who picks up the missing difference?
Well,
the rich.
Which answer are you looking for?
There's a reason. I wonder if this is incompetence. He's moving to a better state because of incompetence too. These people know what they're doing. I mean, I got to think of a better way to say it because it's,
But it's correct. It's a correct way to say it.
I know. It's just like I've already killed it. Because
I think some horses need to be beaten. I think it's such a true statement.
This is facts don't care about your feelings, like Ben Shapiro has literally had to say the rest of his life.
I mean, at some point, that's just yeah. But I mean, this is just. At what point would somebody? I'm going to phrase this in the question of somebody who's not being nefarious and somebody who's actually trying to run a well-governed state. But at what point would you say, we got to do something about this?
I'm going to go on a limb. If people like Joe Rogan and Chef Ramsay are moving, like it's far beyond the point of people thinking that it could be saved.
Yeah, from their point of view, that's absolutely true, and I think that's correct. I mean,
personally,
definitely too far gone.
I mean, personally, in my home state of New York, I had a family friend. He's known my father and blah blah blah. But he has gone. He knows David DiPietro, who was elected official locally. He's known Carl Palladino and various other people. He's gone down to New York, took the week off work, gone down to Albany, and sat there with the elected official and have watched them on the floor just grovel at government and big spending and all this. I mean, he can't. He was literally disgusted. And he said he went through the track record like of the last 30 or 40, 20, what it was like decades, right, of voting records of all the people in New York State on all the issues. He sat there, he said he sat there with 3 other people and they went through every list of person and was like, we are going to figure out the comprehensive list of who's actually conservative in New York and all these things by their votes, not what they say. And he said there's 2 people I would vote for in all of New York State. That guy, you know where he moved? Texas.
Hey, there you go.
So
and that's opening up too. So now you can choose. You can go to Texas or Florida now if you're conservative. So that's nice.
Yeah, at least we got 2 places to go. It's just crazy to think that, like, I mean, I've been out of town again this week. Not to get a little ahead of ourselves, but I've been out of town this week, and when I've been driving back into town, like as I'm driving through areas, I know it's like I get flashbacks, right, of all your memories. You know, I'm sure you get it when you come back up here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just one of those things, the nature of the beast, right? But, like, people aren't willingly leaving their memories, man. It's like a memory where you drive around a street corner is like a physical representation of that memory in your head. In the real world. It's like real world Pokemon Go, but instead of capturing a Pokemon, it captured a memory. You know what I mean? Like, that street corner there, blah, blah, blah. I did this, there, blah, blah. Like, people aren't willingly leaving this stuff behind. You know what I mean? Like,
it takes a lot to push somebody out of their hometown, their birthplace, a place where they have all their friends and family and memories. And it takes a lot to drive them totally out.
Now, imagine what it takes to drive a business, a multi-million-dollar business, a franchise, a corporation. It's just, I mean, the writing's on the wall. We just can't read its dialect, I guess. The Chef Ramsay and Elon and Joe Rogan, they're obviously operating at a higher frequency than most people can comprehend because the writing is on the wall. You know, It's not that we're canaries in the coal mines and always looking at the bad things in the world, but I mean, I've seen things in the hip-hop realm that's talking about how the gangs have control of LA right now. It's worse than it was in the 90s, in the late 80s. Glad we got gun control.
That's not great news if you live in LA. So we talked about this headline a little while back, and well, it turns out the people aren't super happy about it. Maybe they watch the show.
I hope so.
Headlines.
I can hope so.
Prosecutor says she's received pushback, in quotes, after charging parents over the Michigan shooting.
I wonder why.
That's weird. It's almost like they're watching their rights get taken away.
It's so hilarious that they just use the word pushback and they don't say pushback from legal experts.
No.
Like, how much...
Just people.
Like, yeah, this is like the difference between making it sound like the world's on fire and that just some guy's talking in a trash can. You know what I mean? Climate scientists agree the Earth's heating up, and then it's just like, guy says Earth's heating up. It's not the same thing. It doesn't have the same pizzazz. This is how they bury things. You know, this is like the truth won't go quietly in the night. Like, that's where we're at right now. You gotta you almost gotta reverse the headline to get the truth from it. You know, yeah. She's getting pushback because she's an idiot. She made a bad decision. It's a bad legal precedent. It's a bad idea. It's not common sense. It goes against everything Western civilization is built on. Jury of your peers, and that how you yourself are the crime. Not maybe I can pull it up, but they charge. I read an article this week or saw it that they were going to charge an item with the Ben Affleck's phone. Ben Affleck. I'm sorry, Ben Affleck. Alec Baldwin's phone. They were going to arrest a search warrant for his phone. And I know they have to issue a warrant based on the things they're seizing. That's in our Fourth Amendment. But the way it was phrased at first, I almost thought like they were going to charge the phone with a crime, right? With like the way this article was written. I was like, but then that's really a thing, civil asset forfeiture, right?
Yeah. And we've talked about that on the show many times. And
so has Rand Paul, say her name. I know I just jumped all over the map, but to round back to Alec Baldwin there, when that happened, we talked about how it's really a detriment that people aren't educated with firearms, and it shows because they always have this presumptuous thing about whether it's this deadly thing and how to they obviously don't know the features, the safety, the procedures, none of that. So when I read the article, it talked about how he and everybody on set believed it was unloaded. You know, and it's just like, this is kind of where I do agree with that doctor that incompetence does play a larger role than maybe I give credit. You know, like, because I could even say in the reverse about Alec Baldwin knew exactly what he was doing. But
yeah, I really, and you know, to that specific case, I do believe that's the case. I think Alec Baldwin's probably been on set hundreds of times, and how many times has he fired a gun and never had an issue? So somebody obviously made a, unfortunately, horrific, tragic mistake.
Well, here's the big thing with these fake things too, like especially firearms. You don't do real gun safety around them because they're not real, right? Because your image, your perception is that this thing doesn't kill anybody. So you wave it around like it's a toy. I'm not saying they do this, but I'm just saying, like, I was always taught, always treat a firearm like it's loaded. Never point a firearm at someone, even a toy gun, even a toy firearm.
Yeah, I was taught the same thing.
Because it's the habit. It's the like that repetition of that habit will breed that bad habit. It's what they tell you about everything else in the world. So it's not surprising that the people have never been taught by actual people that care about these things, you know, that they lost respect. It shows this would be like somebody handing back in the Middle Ages somebody that didn't know how to sword fight a sword. You know what I mean? And they just get sliced to ribbons. Like, it shows, man.
So I think we've talked about on the show many times how things seem to be going more and more and more to the left. No matter what, like the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, it doesn't matter. Just politics in general seems to have shifted greatly to the left in the last 20, 30 years, even in the last 10 years, quite frankly. And this is, I mean, to the point of in the last 10 years, I mean, if this headline came out 10 years ago, you would have been like, holy cow. But, you know, this is, you know, McCarthyism, McCarthy was right. Headlines. Senator Blumenthal expresses regret, does he, for attending a communist award show. Apparently they have communist award shows, which is interesting. He did say that he does not stand in solidarity with the Communist Party.
Not yet, not openly.
He kind of does. He's a Democratic senator.
He went to the fucking thing, but he doesn't stand in solidarity.
No, not in solidarity.
Kanye West wearing a red hat means he's a racist, white supremacist Trump supporter.
No, yes.
By default, instantly. Yeah. But this guy can just go to the award rally and say, "No, I don't stand."
Well,
with
it didn't
him.
mean anything. He was just, there to present.
Well,
hold on.
Were you there to get influence to meet people? Dude, you guys dressed for that.
Well, hold on. I did leave out a really important part of why he was there. And the reason I left it out is because it didn't mention it until the end of the article. He was just there to talk about some of the Biden-Harris administration plans for the future. But he wasn't like trying to sell it to him or anything. He was just, he thought he'd mention it. He was invited there to talk about it, but what's worse? Is this worse, or is it worse that the Biden administration put a group together to go propagandize the media? They openly did it because the media was mean to him, apparently.
They're going to force me to do something that's against everything that we ever all collectively agree on is wrong.
Well, yes.
The same party that has promoted like literally everything that hasn't worked. I went to the store today and I looked around at everybody. I didn't care. I just said it so loud. I was like, everything's expensive. Everything. Dude, it's... No, when I threw it, like, my hand came down and hit my laptop. I think I hit the button, like, to turn it off. Like, my mouse was just over the hang-up. I'm plugged in, bro. I'm plugged in.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Your Tim Pool lookalike hat was thrown into the air.
No, the pop bottle. My pop bottle. Like, when I went like this, like, my hand came down and it hit the end thing.
Mm.
I'm just saying.
You did. The only reason I'll buy it this time is because you did call back relatively quickly.
It was right away.
Ryan, I
have the worst luck with technology.
He's your standard bull in a china shop.
God, I am the anti-Matrix, dude.
He's your standard bull in a china shop. It's a good thing you're not in my studio. I got multiple monitors and lights and equipment. Ryan would just be launching shit around.
Well, everything's going to have to be wall mounted so I don't knock it over. Like, even the table's going to have to attach to a wall,
Yeah. Yeah, if we're ever in the same studio together, we're going to have to really take some security precautions.
Yeah, we're going to have to carry guns like Crowder does. Speaking of, keep going here, but everything is expensive. These people...
Too expensive for you to be breaking.
People looked at me like I was crazy. I had no mask on. I haven't worn a mask all day. Nobody said nothing to me. Just so you know, all your little signs didn't stop me. I was like, oh, wait a minute. My government mandate. Lucky me. Can't wait to talk to somebody. Then I had some woman at Walmart. Can I see your receipt? No, thank you. Have a good night.
No,
I walked right out.
Turns out you can't.
No, you can't. You really can't.
Yeah, get a warrant. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're really making me become extreme here. I can't wait.
I saw.
I'm gonna have to have you speak for me on like a separate Facebook account. Ryan's been banned.
on the topic of Walmart asking for your receipt, I saw a thing. This girl was stealing shit from Target, and Target compiled a list and waited till she hit 3,000 so they could charge her with a misdemeanor. She went to jail.
Playing the long game, Target.
That's great. I'm proud to say I worked for that company. That's tremendous. We had security in-house at Target. They were pretty badass. They didn't fuck around at Target. It was not Walmart. You can't just walk out of the door with shit.
Can't stop me from stealing, can you?
Yes.
No, they can't.
Sure, it's my property.
They're not police officers.
Doesn't matter. Stand your ground.
Yeah, I'm not. Look,
Target in Florida is probably pretty badass. Yeah, I'm not showing you shit. Let me see your receipt.
Get off there! Put the receipt in the air!
See, and you see this? Did you see this trigger discipline? Neither of us pointed it directly at the other person, even though it was my finger and Ryan was holding the air. Good trigger, solid trigger discipline. I'm not even. Yeah. So anyway, everything is expensive. It really is too.
Yeah, I think I ruined that woman's whole Christmas week here because she's like, she probably thought it was so rude to just be like, nah. That's probably why they thought I was stealing shit, because they know everything's expensive, you know? They probably tell their employees, look, everything's getting more pricey. We're going to see things just walk out.
Well, I guess
better and all.
I guess to your point, though, is it more expensive or is money less valuable?
I'm going to go with money is less valuable.
Is it a coincidence that everything's more expensive when we're at a 40-year high for inflation?
Dude, I think salt and pepper is over $1. Dude, salt? It's in the ground. What? Dude, another thing that blows me away about our food, I understand a little bit, I guess. I'm not involved in supply chains. But I bought honey today. They had honey from Ukraine. I live in New York. We can't get honey somewhere else. We can't buy any honey closer.
So it turns out I can't answer that question for you. I do know a guy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna have to bring it up one time. I'll bring you a big fucking jar of it.
Dude, I eat honey every day. I need like a 64 ounces.
Do you do it for like allergies and shit, or do you just love honey?
I do it because it's a superfood and like literally checks off every box for awesome things for your body. I put it in my protein shake. I do like a strawberry milk protein shake, Jocko Fuel protein. It's delicious. Really good protein powder actually. And I put a crap ton of honey in there, and then I take it like a vitamin in the morning. But I just do it to like it's my. Have you had
COVID?
I want to get an antibody test.
I bet you have.
I probably did catch COVID.
I have thoughts that I bet a lot of people have had COVID that don't know they had COVID.
It's so crazy they're not offering antibody testing like they are the freaking free COVID.
Oh, that's because those aren't accurate.
At-home diagnostics aren't.
That's why. It's because they're not accurate. It's not because they don't want people to know that they've had COVID without having symptoms. What are you drinking? There's no other word for it. It's a gallon of juice.
64 ounces.
It's a gallon. Look at that big sumbitch.
Yeah.
I don't have any more headlines, actually. As you probably suspected, because we're talking about your juice.
64 gallons of juice. I feel like Bert Kreischer right now.
The juice is loose, for the record.
I'm just going to tell you one thing. Aliens aren't real. I don't care what anybody says they saw on the moon. Okay? I swear to God. Okay? Look, I'm going to make this as easy as possible. I don't want any misinterpretations through the feed of the algorithm. I know we're in the Matrix already. Okay? The aliens are lies. They're fucking lies. Don't buy them. Don't believe them. They're not real. It's all a con. They're conning you. We're already in the machines. They already won. They already took over. I only bring it up because Ben Shapiro, of all people, who's also anti-alien, probably because they don't believe in God.
That is not accurate.
Yeah, there was like a mark on the moon apparently that it looks like a spaceship crash landed. It was a pretty cool photo. I can't actually find it right now.
It couldn't have been, an object from space.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the fucking asteroids that are just flying all over the place apparently.
I'm pretty sure the moon is known for its craters because it gets hit with shit all the time.
Nah, don't worry about it. Here it is. Crashed flying saucer spotted on Mars. A South African researcher, I'm going to trust a guy with a lot of federal funding, discovered what appears to be an image of a crashed flying saucer on the surface of Mars. Oh, it's
I think
Mars.
what it really is you're racist and you don't trust South Africans, which is why you don't trust Elon Musk's Neuralink.
For the record, one of our viewers reached out to us. Shout out to Mike. I love you, buddy. He said that we got to stop S in Elon's D. So I actually had to put him in his place and said I told him he's going to sell us out. But I do kind of believe that a little bit. I'm being very serious because I think the type of men like George Washington that would be the power, like the president, and willingly give up power are far and few in between in all of human history. So I'm not saying Elon couldn't do it. I don't know the guy personally, obviously. I just think like absolute power corrupts absolutely. So
I think what we're going to find within the next 5 years, and this is a really bold conspiracy prediction, I think we're going to find that Elon is most certainly on our side, and that's why he's going to go to prison for some kind of nonsense. He's going to go to prison for bullshit. He's going to be liable for some electric car crash, or he's going to be tax something or something with insider trading. He's going to go to prison in due time. It's going to be my bold 5-year prediction.
That's not a bad prediction, and maybe that's like the way to I don't know.
And the real reason he's going to prison, Mike, is because he's on our team. That Elon Musk going to S all the D. I'll S. First of all, I'll S all the D I want to S. Calling you out. Guy I don't know that well, but you seem pretty cool. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Not that Mike, a different Mike.
Oh, I don't know who you are then, Mike. Son of a bitch. Thank you for watching, by the way.
I should have clarified.
Thanks for your support.
He's like an older guy, and I'm sure he like checks in time to time because he misses me because I'm awesome, and he probably checks in and keeps up with the pod to see how we're doing because we always talk politics. But he's like, you guys gotta, he basically. I'm not gonna guess
Mike thinks I'm a prick now.
it was pretty graphic, but
hey, Mike, hit that subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Don't lose a follower. But I just thought it was funny the way he portrayed it. But I like I said, I did tell him, and I hope Elon's on our side. I truly believe Rogan has been red-pilled maybe all the way, and he's actually. I think I noticed with his interview style of like how, like he finally realizes what he means to the people. Like he's the new info warrior.
He's going to jail too.
Yeah, they're going to suicide Rogan or something, I'm telling you. Couple quick things here. Robbie De Niro, that's the dude's name that the Orchard Park gym owner that fought Cuomo.
Okay, I was going to say, he's familiar. Why? That's why.
He's a veteran, first of all. I don't know when he fought and everything or what he was in, but he is a veteran, first of all, so he served this country. And that's why he's so impassioned about a lot of things, because he swore the oath and everything. And I didn't meet him personally, but I seen him at a rally and stuff. He's a very cool guy from what I understand. Strict and bold and all that shit, like masculine, we can say. But he got arrested this week. Probably was detained and let go as soon as he got back. But he went to Orchard Park schools without a mask, and they repeatedly told him that if he shows up without a mask again, that they're going to arrest him. And they did. There was parents there that were also unmasked, and they were clapping and were in solidarity with Robbie. But Robbie that time actually had a mask on, and he was like, I'm masked. And they're like, no, we've told you multiple times. So I guess the long and the short of it is these people don't care. Okay? They're going to remove you. What he's doing is winning. There's a reason he's being targeted. There's a reason that they're attacking him. Just reverse what they tell you. And that's the truth. So keep up the good fight, people. It's good to see. Inspiring to me, he's always denied masks. Once again, I have not been masked. Then again, this whole week I was in a county that is not enforcing the mask mandate to begin with. But here in Erie County all day, I have not worn a mask, and I've done all the correct things. Social distance and all the regular crap. But it's good to see people fighting back. We're not going to go into we're not going lightly. I would bring up NASA, but it's a waste of time. Apparently, this is a quick little headline that we could probably talk forever in conspiracy realm, but it's just kind of cool how all these things kind of connect at the same time. I told you guys Christmas is coming, right, and football and all the other stuff, so things are easy to slide on the radar. Headlines, New York Post. Oswald met KGB before JFK assassination. Delayed records dump shows. And this is at the same time, literally like a day or two apart from when Putin and Biden met and said that, you know, if you do your thing in Ukraine and all the stuff we're going over there, that Biden is going to not really pressure.
That's weird.
You know, it almost sounds like, you know, basically like when Stalin agreed with Hitler to allow him to take Poland and not attack them, and then it basically, I don't know, led to the Second World War in a way. A couple other things, and then we can get Decembertainment here. Do you remember when you brought up the Bang energy drink that the guy said should be 18 years old?
Mm-hmm.
This, holy crap. I can't believe it came to me, but I saw somebody I know drinking one, and I seen it has it. It has 18 or older on the can.
Whoa. I wonder if that's I wonder if that's a recent change.
Yeah, so first of all, it looks like it's a company thing because it's not legible at all. Like, the picture I took, I thought was blurry, and then I zoomed in. I was like, wow, that's blurry. And then I looked at the actual can, and it's like smudged and crappy. So you can make out 1-8 on there. So I just thought it was funny, a little December future flashback, whatever you want to call it, came back to us. I thought it was pretty funny. And I got to say, I got to move to Alaska because Miss Alaska is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Put her up there for everybody. Yeah, bro.
She looks noseless in your picture. She looks like Voldemort.
Dude, she kind of looks like half Asian or something. She's super hot. She's like the hundredth. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about the unrealistic beauty standards and all this crap we talk about? Is when I didn't even know that Miss America was going on. I wasn't going to look at anybody, right? But I got a news notification that said Miss Alaska is the 100th Miss America ever. And I clicked on it, and of course I'm like, where's the bikini pictures, you know? So I'm scrolling the article, and none of the photos, they're all of all of the girls, you know what I mean? Like, none of them are like this photograph. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted basically like the centerfold shot of Miss America, you know? And they didn't have it. So I had to go online and type in her name, and then I found her Instagram. And now I'm a follower and a big fan. So let's go Alaska. Thank you, Miss Alaska. She is super hot. She sings super nice, has a beautiful voice. Fantastic. Helps with charity. She really is the all-American woman.
You should slide in her DMs.
I got a chance now.
Maybe we'll have her on the show.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get banned in Alaska or whatever.
I would kind of like to pull that off, bringing her on the show, just so I could watch you stutter all over yourself.
Hey, I do all right around hot chicks, you know? Ask the other Mike the real Mike, the Mike that you know.
The other one that I just yelled at, but it wasn't actually the Mike I thought it was.
Yeah, ask him. I do all right around hot chicks.
Yeah, I'd just like to take a real quick second. I'd just like to apologize, Mike. Not the Mike I actually yelled at. That Mike. Thanks for watching, Mike. But the other Mike that I thought was the Mike that I yelled at.
Yeah, Mike, he's like our biggest supporter, so we love you, Mike. But I got another thing here, and then I probably just scoot to Decembertainment unless something else jumps off of this non-thought-out strategy here. It was December week here, people. It was our week. December 1773. We were named after, Dave named it famously after the Boston Tea Party. This is the week it happened. And, yeah, obviously it's super important. 16th of December. It's basically the real turning point in the war. It was more a morale boost. It took 3 hours, 100 patriots, and they dumped 90,000 pounds of tea. Now, I don't know who wrote this on our Facebook page, but good job. Yeah, good job him actually putting the math on there, because we always talk about the minority and the all of our founders, all of the freedom lovers throughout all the histories of all the cultures. It's always about relentless people fighting for what is right and good, and it always prevails. It always prevails. And 100 people dumping 90,000 pounds of tea is a lot of work. That's a lot of manpower. But it just shows I don't know how many people lived in Boston at that time, but I bet you it was over 100 times that amount of people. So it was the 1% of people making a change that motivated everything in that area, in that local community. And that is basically what Robbie's doing to kind of tie some of this together here. It's beautiful. We shall never forget it. And, I guess we're internally grateful for not only the spirit, but the name. It's basically our branding is that turning point. It's that stand. It's the line in the sand kind of. It's the bag of tea floating in the harbor.
Yeah.
So,
and you got to think at the time, I mean, realistically, I mean, that was it was a pretty minor tax on a bit of tea, and they lost their shit. And I'm glad they did. That's the spirit that we've lost, though.
Yeah, and they're going against royalty. Royalty. When you dump the kings, you were dumping the king's tea, right? It's like an attack on the kingdom. It's theft of the kingdom. So, yeah, it's just really a beautiful thing. It's really so symbolic. It's obviously will be iconic in American history and everything else, but it is the spirit. We have lost it, and that's kind of what the whole point of a lot of this is. But it's just cool how it all kind of like ticks back, man. Like, all that has happened is we got better ways to record history, but the same lessons happen. It went from oral tradition to written to pictures to video. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And then soon it's going to be holograms. Soon it's going to be, Neuralink uploads, and then it's straight DNA genetic. I mean,
the Meta Tea Party is going to be fucking crazy, though.
Yeah, I can't wait to throw Hillary Clinton in the fucking Boston Tea Party. Virtually. Non-violently. I'm going to throw her with
non-violently. He's going to...
non-violent throw. Maybe I'll just wear gloves, so, I'll be socially distanced throwing. That's another thing. They're not making the metaverse at the time. They're telling us to be socially distant for no reason. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could scroll through all my stuff all night here, but there's just a lot of cool stuff. Kim Kardashian regrets to asking Kanye to take off the MAGA hat. Not that I care about celebrities, but I spoke a few weeks ago about Kanye on the Drink Champs interview, and it just
why she regrets that?
Because she said if people feel a certain way, they should be able to express that. It's freedom of speech, and I shouldn't have been so mean about it. And now I understand it.
Fair enough.
It's weird it happened now, though, right? When Biden's hated, right? When he's hated.
Is Biden, he, though?
I saw a headline that said Biden should never run again. He shouldn't run again. And why he shouldn't ask. The most elected guy ever should never run again.
That's weird.
Come on, man.
Well, it's been, to be fair, they've had almost a full year, right? A full year? How long has he been in office for? Too long already.
Yeah. Another quick headline.
Oh, God.
Another quick headline that's super funny, speaking of how long he's been president. Report, Trump officials undermined COVID-19 response for political gain. That's probably true, and they all did. So why are we targeting one?
I don't know. What's worse, using COVID for political gain? In the other way? Yeah.
I seen another thing talking about how people think Elon's going to lose his Twitter next because he's the mean tweeter now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to piss Mike off. Long-time listener, never-time caller Mike. I don't want to piss him off by praising Elon, insulting other people. Again, Mike, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment.
If you like the video, share the video.
If you like the video, share the video.
Speaking of Mike, my friend Mike, the good Mike, he's selling his Bills tickets. If anybody needs them, hit him up on Facebook. I can give you his information. But I'm bringing it up because I'm seeing this. Many, many, many people on my timeline are selling their season tickets.
I'm not selling season tickets, but Eve bought me tickets for January against the Falcons.
This is the line in the sand, people.
And I'm a pretty big Bills fan, so if anybody was going to get vaccinated just to see the Bills, I'm not going to lie to you. I did debate it. I was like, but I can't do it.
I told you guys, masks are the new team, man. You got to make a decision. We can't sit in the middle because you're just going to get swept up into the machine, man. So good for you, David, fighting up the good fight and not only walking the walk and talking the talk, but doing both at the same time, because that's most important. We need people of character, of action, of fortitude, of morals, and like to actually do the things they're going to say. But yeah, it's once again, I've seen multiple people selling them. Yeah, I'm not going to get into any more COVID stuff and everything. I guess I'll just round out with that kid that, do you remember when CNN attacked that one kid that was wearing a MAGA hat against the Indian at that?
Oh, Sandman. I thought you were talking about the other kid they attacked by sexually assaulting her. I thought it was the pedophile stuff, not the hating on the guy for being a Trump fan stuff.
No, that dude won like $250 million in a settlement from CNN.
Good.
Kyle Rittenhouse should be next, and then anybody else.
I hope so. Good. Start holding these people liable.
Yep. And to be honest, this is going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some legislation to make some of this private.
Make what private?
Court documents when media have to pay out for defamation lawsuits. Because I'll tell you this right now. CNN is going to try better to report the truth and the facts if they're getting a pantsuit off of them, which is something the Trump administration tried. So it's only, like, once again, I said the only way that businesses can fight off the government's overreaching policies to charge more money for the same service, the only thing we can do to stop media is to sue them. So glad people are taking action. And then I think I got one last thing. I know I keep saying this, but it's just like it's just endless, man. There's just so much good stuff. It just keeps coming up, and we're really living super exciting times. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the amount of stuff that happens in the world, there's a lot of good news. We don't necessarily cover all that, but I really thought there was one more. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess I'll say that for all. Oh, yeah, just one last thing. Biden warns of winter of severe illness and death for the unvaccinated.
Wait, what?
Joe Biden warns of, quote, winter of severe illness and death for the unvaccinated.
That sounds like fear-mongering. Propagandizing.
Some would say, and I'm going to say this right now, the most dangerous words, most fearful words you ever want to hear is, hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. So. All right, I'll get to my Decembertainment.
How were you Decembertained?
I was Decembertained.
I'm not Decembertained.
Decembertainment. All corny gladiator jokes aside, Russell Crowe's a phenomenal actor, even if I hate his politics. A couple weeks ago, I watched The Matrix.
That's right.
I never finished it. Well, I finished it.
You didn't finish it because you weren't allowed to finish it because you're being controlled by somebody who didn't want you to finish it.
I will tell you, I felt like Neo watching the movie. It's all alone. It was late at night. I've been working my balls off. Downstairs at this Airbnb, guy's got like a theater in his basement with surround sound and ass massagers on the chair and foosball tables and lights everywhere, fireplace and pool. It was wonderful. I gotta say a couple things. I said that movie was beyond ahead of its time. Oh my God, is it ahead of its time?
Even more so. Now that you finished it.
Yeah, granted, it has the fighting's a little corny. The love story's a little corny. Some of the lines are a little corny. It's like the 90s. We're kind of hammering this out. You can tell when I look back at it, it's a good movie now, but at the time, I could see how it would just be a mediocre science fiction movie. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't have all the allure and zazz and all this, like, super cult. But, dude, damn it, it's so good. Everything. Like, the number on his door is 101, and, like, they talk through the computer. It's just... He sees in Matrix vision when he's the one. You know what I mean? Like, it's like makes you... What the movie does so well is it basically tells you the same thing you tell your kids, is that you can be anything you want when you grow up. Follow your dreams. Believe in yourself. Don't let people tell you who you are. Know thyself. Pursue your passions. All these things, we call them corny sayings, right? And then we always hear about those hyper success stories like celebrities and everything else that have come from garbage cans and they're worth billions. You know, like you always hear those, and those are hyper examples, and few and far people get that. But the point is the point we tell ourselves that is so that we engage in the fight for something, right? We want to fight for a better life. And that's all the Matrix does in a very corny scientific way, is just Neo believes in himself. He basically gets his confidence, he gets his balls back. You know what I mean? He gets his mojo back like Austin Powers. You know, and it was just like to watch the movie in totality on a nice big screen in the dark, like it felt very movie theater-esque, right? So I was really able to like just get like in the mood of the film and rip it apart. I was alone too for most of it, so that allowed me to just like go crazy with my imagination, get lost. And dude, it is so good. It's beyond its time. Like the writers, it's so clever. It's so simple. There's a lot of like, it's like practical mythology. You know what I mean? It's like some of the lines and stuff. And like I said, it's just like follow your dreams is basically the message of the movie. Mm-hmm. And they tell it. I mean, that is following your dreams is probably a story humans have said forever, like literally millions of years, right? And we've always told the story, but for some reason it always like sits in you, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna, like, for some reason we're drawn to this idea, this creation. It's always relatively the same, the archetypes of all these things, and for them to just like hit that very simple thing so well with so much detail, and it predict the future the way it does. Simply incredible. Brilliant film. I'm going to watch the other ones. And yeah, I encourage everybody to watch it now more than ever, especially if you're a 90s kid like we are. You get to kind of, like, looking back in the retrospect, obviously, seeing the tube TVs and everything, it just really put the times in perspective. Mm. And what really hit me was realizing that our parents grew up in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was used to the way the 80s were in the 90s. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say about the time shift there, but it was something I noticed. I picked up, like, a lot of the stuff in the movie was reminiscent of my early life and my early adulthood and stuff like that, you know, like my early childhood, rather. So I guess I'll leave it there. Thank you, everybody. I know we won't see you next week for Christmas. So everybody have a good Christmas next week or this week or however, whatever. I know it's messy, but
on Christmas. Have good Christmas on Christmas.
Yeah, everybody enjoy your holiday, I guess, to do it that way. And thank you for watching this week. Dave and Ryan, December 1773. Like, comment, subscribe. You made it to the end. I always appreciate that the most. I know we kind of go off the rails sometimes, but I appreciate those who stick by us. Yeah, we drop Mondays at 7. We'll see you guys next year. Ha 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 ha.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, it is poor joke aside. It is going to be next year. We really do appreciate everybody's time. Really love that everybody hangs out, watches along with us. We, you know, it's been a slow go trying to gain subscribers when, you know, the algorithm and social media doesn't want you on their platform. But we do appreciate all the likes we get, all the comments we get, all the subscribers. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to all of them. Unless you're an atheist, you're vaccinated. Unless you're an atheist.
And unvaxxed. Sure. If you're unvaxxed, you don't get a Christmas from me.
Yeah, you don't get Christmas if you're unvaxxed. If you're vegan, I don't wish you a Merry Christmas. Mike, I don't wish you a Merry Christmas. But I don't even know who this guy is. That's what makes it even better.
Yeah, he's actually a good guy. He's just you know, he's a good guy. He's just broken like the rest of all the good guys out there. Yeah, not to get on another tangent on the end here, but the algorithm's real things, man, and that's kind of like with the Matrix. It buttons up perfectly, man. If there's ever an allegory, you know, Lawrence Fishburne does a great job doing Morpheus. And there's a lot of words in there, like you're a slave to a prison you can't see, feel, touch, or smell, and like just the metaverse is here. Meta sense. Good job, Dave. I'll catch you all later. Merry Christmas. Thank you, David. And yeah, see you guys next year. All jokes aside, and be well, live happy, all that.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, everybody.
Poor Bills.